Over the last decade in the woke Hollywood echo chamber, it's become increasingly obvious that they have been completely out of touch with the normal, everyday, average person. The person who just wants to go to the movie theater, turn on the television, turn on a streaming service, and not constantly have propaganda shoved down their throats, but instead they just want to be entertained. They just want good movies, good TV shows, that's it. Bottom line. But Hollywood has decided to go a different direction. Hollywood is continue to push the message time and time again. And on Sunday at the Oscars, the biggest awards ceremony, where all these people gather around and clap for themselves and pat themselves on the back, they showed once again just how far they've fallen. TV ratings, Oscars draw 18 million viewers, down from 2024. And yes, it's down 17% from last year. And what's not noted in a lot of these mainstream media articles is that this will essentially be, if it stays here at this number, 18.1 million viewers, this is the third lowest rated Oscars in history. That's what we're talking about right here. Off from the highs of 60 million people tuning in the late 90s, and even several years ago, 30 million people tuning in. Now they're down to 18 million. Oscars hit 18.1 million viewers, down 7% from last year. Just under 18.1 million people tuned into ABC's telecast of the 97th Academy Awards on Sunday, marking a 7% decrease from the year before. And that total, it should also be noted, this is the first time they've live streamed the event. So this is counting the viewers that they had on Hulu as well, which there were significant problems with that Disney disaster. Hulu apologizes for tech glitches during streamed Oscars telecast. You know Hulu, the actual profitable side of the streaming for Disney when they combine it with Disney Plus to make it look like they're making money. Hulu, which they spent billions and billions and billions of dollars to acquire, Hulu was down for significant portions of the telecast. But even with that, just think about the idea that if they hadn't added in those live streaming numbers, where they would be. Because last year at the Oscars, they had 19.5 million people tuning in just on ABC. No streaming, no anything like that. So you have to consider what the numbers may have been if they didn't get to add in the Hulu live stream numbers, and it's probably not very good. But as it stands, that would be the third lowest rated Oscars in history. Obviously, the one that was during the pandemic, that was the lowest ever. Then they saw a bump the next couple years. But obviously, it's nothing compared to where it used to be. This is just since 2000. When they had 46 million people tune in. But look at this, even 10 years ago, 2014's telecast, 43 million people tuned in. All the way back in 2017, 2018, 2019, you're talking around 30 million people. And now they're lucky if they crack 18 million. And we shouldn't really be surprised by this because so often, despite all of the stuff, and I will say Conan O'Brien seemed to stay fairly apolitical for the vast majority of it, contrary to Jimmy Kimmel from, four-time host Jimmy Kimmel, who can't keep Trump's dick out of his mouth, right? Conan O'Brien made one small reference to someone standing up to a powerful Russian, a joke regarding Anora, which ended up winning Best Picture. But that's a different story here. When you talk about the films that do get celebrated, that do get rewarded, it used to be movies that a lot of people cared about. Now, that's not to say that it has to be every movie that's top grossing at the box office. Those are the only things that should be awarded. No, that's not the case. But when you have so many movies like Amelia Perez, the disgusting, degenerate Amelia Perez movie, up for 13 nominations. And of course, Zoe Saldana took away Best Supporting Actress, immediately was forced to confront a Mexican journalist who called out this movie that is set in Mexico that so many Mexicans have had a problem with. And Zoe Saldana, who is not Mexican, who celebrated becoming the first American of Dominican descent because her grandparents moved here in the 60s. So I guess that's something to be celebrated. The first American of Dominican descent to win an award, whatever. We're so sick of celebrating these ridiculous diversity firsts. It's insane. But Zoe Saldana, who basically told a Mexican reporter, I'm sorry if you're offended, but go fuck yourself. This isn't offensive to you. After she won an award for a movie about a Mexican drug cartel ran by a transgender beast and was made by a French filmmaker who said Spanish is the language of dirty, poor countries. So yeah, Maybe that's why people weren't as invested. When a movie like Anora, which is about a sex worker, wins Best Picture, and then Mikey Madison, who wins Best Actress, immediately goes up there and praises sex workers around the country. You know what? There's a lot of everyday average Americans who don't connect with this shit anymore. That's really what's going on. People have fallen out of love with Hollywood over the last decade because Hollywood has continued to push time and time again what they think the world should look like when they're completely out of touch with reality. So now here we are, the third lowest rated Oscars in history, in the nearly 100-year history of this award show. The third lowest ratings. Another embarrassment for Hollywood, but one that should be expected. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.